Here.
Welcome to Chicken Yard Sports. I am your host, Yak Blunderland. And with my co-host, Earl Blasterson, just ruining games for me left and right. Just because I stream the football games and live in the past. This guy fucking blows all the endings to me. He's like, dude, did you see that sick play? I'm like, well, I'm about to, I guess.
Yeah. Dude, it's we've got our own like Rick and Morty situation going here. I'm just have frozen you in the past, and now you just have no idea what's going on anymore.
Yeah, it's some bullshit if you ask me, but
that's what you get for streaming, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I get for not wanting to pay an arm and a leg to watch football when it's free. I pay for internet. It works out. Shit buffs out.
I mean, the cable companies are really having their interest protected by me by going out and ruining games for everybody.
Yeah, just live tweet.
That's actually the only salary I take home is I just call random people and are like, hey, did you see this play or did you know the game's already over? And they're just like, no, I don't have cable.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yep.
Cue the South Park meme.
Yeah, I need my nipple.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you might as well work for Comcast. You fucking
Let's just start with that game, though, because the Vikings and 49ers game got pretty spicy for a while there in the fourth quarter. And
points. I hope you bet the over on this game because it was a fucking shootout. And for whatever reason, Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo are the two highest graded deep ball throwers of this year. So, like, I don't know how that fucking happened, but I guess it did. But yeah,
especially since Jimmy G like is perpetually like kind of hurt, or there's always an excuse as to why he's not playing at an elite level. I will say though that my biggest opinion of this game was like when the 49ers missed that kick and gave the ball back to Kirk Cousins with 2 minutes left and no timeouts. I was like, there's absolutely zero chance that Kirk Cousins wins this
year
game.
I would agree with you, but he's not been a terrible quarterback this year. I mean, dude, he's been playing pretty damn solid, which is very un-Kirk-like. You know, it's just
ninth totally Kirk. Like he does that for like long enough each season where everybody's like, yeah, I guess we're always giving Kirk a hard time, but he's pretty fucking good. But it's
he always does it when they're down by 21 points in the fourth quarter, and then he balls out, and that's when you like see the stat line, and you're like, wait a second, Kirk Cousins threw for 375 today, but they lost by 3 touchdowns. Like, how did that happen? And that's how it happens, is because he just throws the football. He gets like 150 yards a game in the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter when they're down and the third string like corners are in, and
he's
that's where
garbage time hero, bro.
Yeah, which hey, I can respect that. I just wouldn't want it on my team.
Down in the muck with the rest of us grimy people. But I will also say that last drive of theirs, he was overthrowing people left and right. Like Alexander Madison had to use his entire 40-inch vertical or however high he can jump to try and catch a pass that sailed right over his hands. And then the very last throw of the game on 4th and 8, he sailed one
overthrows Justin Jefferson. Yeah.
It's just like the guy is so close to being elite, kind of, you know, like he has the tools and the arm, but he just cannot win games. And when it counts, Kirk Cousins will always let you down. And I've been saying that for years. Like,
well, yeah, dude, hot take. That's not a hot take at
all. I know.
Because you and every other human being on earth says that.
But, like, this is a winnable game against the 49ers team that if given the opportunity, you should be able to beat right now. Like, they've not been playing great this year.
100% agree.
With that, we can move on to the Buccaneers and Colts game, which was way more exciting and way closer than I think anybody thought. Like, Carson did implode towards the end of the game where he threw just a back-breaking interception, but in the first half, he looked somewhat reminiscent of his old self. Like,
yeah, he was lighting it up.
He threw an absolute piss missile today for like 50 yards through the air, hitting the guy in stride for like a nasty touchdown. And just in general, he was making Jack Doyle shine. Like, how often do you get to talk about Jack Doyle? He's like the
answer to that
name
question is
in history. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, say what you want about Carson Wentz, he balled out today. The Colts have a dog trash receiving core, and for him to be thrown to a bunch of like no names and not playing terrible, like you said, Jack Doyle. I mean, like T.Y. Hilton, what is he like 75 years old?
Yeah, he made T.Y. relevant for the first time in like 2.5 years. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good offensive line, but like make fun of Carson Wentz all you want. He's got no one to throw the football to. Like, who's the worst receiving? I mean, they're a bottom 3 receiving corps in the NFL. Them with like
Michael
the Saints.
Pittman. Yeah. All they have is Michael Pittman, and he's good, but he's still young, and that's not saying a whole lot. And then you also have them running the football towards the end of the game when they should have been passing, but Jonathan Taylor was just getting more on the ground. And Quentin Nelson, like, you need to lean on him. He's one of the best players you have, even though he's a lineman, but
early you have to, though. You can't come back and just be passing the football. Running the football, you got to be passing the football.
Yeah, absolutely. But they did lean on that a lot more today, even though it was a time they really shouldn't have been, but it was more effective than what they were doing in the second half. But then the Buccaneers really they're the better football team, and Tom Brady is not going to let you beat him when you're Carson Wentz and Indy. Like, I was watching the clock and I was just like, it doesn't even matter if they tie the game right here, because Brady's going to have enough time to go down, and he's going to do it because he's Brady. Like, we all just have to start accepting until he's out of the league. He's probably still the best at that final,
if not the best, he's up there. And like Gronk had a huge game today.
Yeah, Gronk was a monster.
7 catches for 123.
Unbelievable.
He every few weeks Gronk just has like Gronk still can be a beast if he wants to be game.
Well, he's been hurt a lot this year. He was out for a long time, and I never liked it when they were in New England, but it's very endearing to watch Gronk succeed in Tampa Bay. Like, you almost have to root for him because he is like a golden retriever out there, just pure enthusiasm and excitement. You got to love that shit.
Facts. But the Buccaneers took care of business and ended up winning the game. We'll move it on to the Broncos, who you could call it an upset. They were underdogs, dogs at home. They win 28-13 against the Los Angeles Chargers.
I think more accurately, Pat Surtain beat the Chargers today.
Yeah. He had a pick 6 and another pick. Surtain had, I wouldn't even call it his breaking out party because he's had a few good games this year, but man, like,
that was the biggest individual performance we've had from anybody pretty much all season. Like, the Chargers are driving. They're about to tie it up probably, because it's 7-14 at that point. And Justin Herbert throws a pick to Surtain in the end zone. And then we somehow put a drive together and score a touchdown after that. And then the following drive, Surtain gets the pick 6. It was just absolutely unbelievable. And the Broncos really did not play well at all today. Like, Teddy gets hurt and Drew Lock goes in, and Drew Lock throws one of the worst interceptions you can even explain to a player as a coach. Like, a situation that is just so dumbfounding. You can't even believe that the guy has a job in the NFL. It's like 2 minutes before half, you have a 2-touchdown lead, and on a 2-yard out route, he decides, you know what, I'm going to risk it for whatever this is, 5 or 6 yards, and throws a fucking interception. And then you allow the Chargers to make it just a 1-touchdown lead going right into halftime afterwards. It was just so stupid. Like,
basically you just got to be thinking like, hey, let's just not fuck this up and get the Chargers back in the game. But Drew Lock's like, nah, dude, are you kidding me? Why would we do that? Like, this game could be way more interesting if I give them the ball right now and they go score. So, which is what he did, which was, he was thinking of the atmosphere of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, girl.
He's been watching.
He wanted a good football game.
Yeah, he's been watching from the bench, and he just wanted more excitement. He's just like, if Teddy comes back, I want this game to be more exciting. And then Teddy did come back, and he's like, now this is what I'm talking about. And actually,
he's like, you're welcome, Teddy. Teddy's like, dude, fuck you.
Oh man, no, the Broncos. It's just like, that's so embarrassing.
Herbert 285 today. He did not look very good, man. They just keep throwing the underneath ball. Like, he has two of the best deep threat receivers in the league, and the Chargers just don't attack that whatsoever. They just got such a boring offense, which, like, to have Herbert just be such a pedestrian quarterback, it's like, I mean, just not utilizing your talent. Who's the Chargers offensive coordinator?
I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but
Joe Lombardi.
Chargers
he's just trash.
Dude, they feel like they're capable of winning any game, and like if you have a lead, it's not really safe because their reputation early in the season was that they were just stacked and killing people, and now that doesn't really seem to be true as we're coming into December. Like, they were not playing as well today. I mean, the Broncos gave them infinite chances to get back in this football game, and they just never took advantage of it. And until he started throwing picks, like, it was still only a 1 touchdown game.
Yeah. No, it definitely was. Offensive player of the day for the Broncos, though, Javonte Williams had himself a day. That dude cannot get tackled to save his life. People try to tackle him, and it's like, oh man, he's in the middle of this like huge lineman aisle, and then you see him 9 yards down the field getting pulled, and you're like, wait, how the fuck did he make it through that?
Yeah, just still carrying people. It's like he's fully wrapped up and like nearly brought to the ground, and he just like Super Saiyan, like, just throws dudes off. He's like the Hulk or something. It's just incredible to watch. He's my most exciting player for the Broncos this year, hands down.
Oh yeah, it's comical. He's a bright blip on a Broncos team who's now over 500. They got a real test next week against Kansas City, but it'll be exciting. Let's move it on though, because why the fuck not? Steelers Bengals. Steelers are trying to prove that they're a football team. Bengals kind of as well. And they just pound the Steelers 41-10.
Dude,
and the Cincinnati
Burrows. In Burrow, we trust, bro. Joe Burrow is a bona fide badass. He is the football savior of Ohio. And unfortunately, it's not for the Browns, but like, he is the fucking man. I love Joe Burrow. And just turning on the TV today and watching them just kick the shit out of the Steelers on national television, just embarrassing them. That's a great Sunday morning game. Like, I haven't been that pumped up after a morning game maybe all season. That was just pure entertainment. I mean, going into halftime after this pick six that Ben threw to Mike Hilton, who was a Steeler last year, and like balled the fuck out, but watching him pick six Ben and just destroy the Steelers
beautiful.
Was magic. Yeah. And then they go into half up 31-3 on the Steelers, just embarrassing them, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't a game from the onset. I mean, the Steelers, I'm going to say it, they're frauds. Like, they are a fraudulent football team, and as long as they are like clinging to the has-been of Ben Roethlisberger's corpse, they are not going to win football games. And that doesn't mean that Duck or Rudolph is the answer either. They're kind of in a similar situation as like the Broncos. They're not going to do anything with the current quarterbacks on the roster. They might win a couple games.
But they're just trying to like save face with Ben, just stay there at least the rest of this year probably, because it's like they can still beat bad teams. And in all honesty, with how emotional the NFL is, like week to week, at least if you can pound on bad teams, people will have a short memory. They're like, well, we won last week. Like, maybe we still have a chance until they're like mathematically eliminated. But yeah, the Steelers are a bad football team this year. They just have like so much firepower on offense, but no way to get on the ball consistently. And Ben seems like his mind is still sharp. Like, he reads defenses really well, but he just sucks. He sucks. And then every once in a while, he's like his old self for like 2 minutes of football. But like, God help the Steelers this year.
Yeah, amen to that. Excited to see the Burrows moving forward. Kind of Jamar Chase has been the highlight of that offense with Burrow all year. T. Higgins broke out today, 6 receptions, 114 yards and a touchdown.
Mixon
just
destroyed people today, dude. He
ran for 165 yards.
Yeah, dude, he was
that
just
dude's
destroying
is bad.
people. Yeah. Oh man, it was so funny too, because Mixon, like, almost got in on the left side, but his elbow was down. And he was reaching out with the ball, and then they just gave it to him the next play anyway, and he scores immediately. And it was just like this whole review took up like 5 minutes only for them to just give him the ball again and have him score. Yeah, it was great. But yeah, Joe Mixon, nobody cares about your fantasy team, but he had himself a day today.
Yeah, facts.
Then we can move on to
Rams Packers.
Yeah.
Packers 36, Rams 28. A little closer than the score even indicated. Are the Rams a bad football team? Because they're not a good football team.
Yeah, I don't even know what the Rams are, because I was even thinking like Rodgers and the Packers won't just rain down hell upon the Rams defense, but today that one Javonte Adams touchdown was one of the dankest things ever. I mean, he just made Jalen Ramsey and this other guy look foolish. And in all honesty, it was probably the other guy's fault 100%. And Jalen Ramsey just was somehow in the area because he was attempting to clean up the mess, but like that just looked bad when you have Devontae running straight past two Rams defenders and just destroying them. But yeah, I mean, the Rams, it's just like how many more stars do you need on your defense for your football team to win games? And that's not even blaming their defense. It's just saying like,
I mean, a little bit blaming their defense though. The Packers put 36 on them with an injured Rodgers and an injured Aaron Jones. Like AJ Dillon had a good game, but it's not like a healthy Packers offense came out and shredded you. Like an injured Packers offense came out and absolutely shredded you.
Yeah, but also, I mean, just in general, it's like if you can't win with that defense was my point. Like, what are you going to do? Because, I mean, all the offense has to do is just play decent complementary football, and today they weren't doing that. I mean, Stafford just looked way off, and some of the Packers were making some incredible plays. Like, late in the game, Stafford threw to Van Jefferson. This dude on the Packers made this diving one-handed deflection like at the last second, and it would have been like a 40-yard gain, but that was like pure athleticism. I mean, that was like full sprint, just no PI, just absolute perfection, but like still, I mean, the Rams couldn't really do anything on offense. I mean, they have those big chunk plays with like Kupp and pretty much everybody in the
Odell caught like a 54, Von Jefferson caught like a 74, but you take out their like 3 chunk plays and
they have
that's like more than half of Stafford's yards, and they haven't been playing well, and that's how it is all season, which like isn't a bad way to operate, but it makes you too reliant on those big plays. And dude, the Rams, I mean, if you look at who they've beat and who they've lost to, I mean, they beat the Buccaneers, which is their signature win. The Colts, who are playing good now, but at the time, week 2, the Colts were a water trash football team.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, and your other wins are against like the Seahawks who suck, the Giants who suck, the Lions who suck, the Texans who suck. Like you got your wheels blown off by the 49ers. You lost to the Pack by, it was only 8, but it should have been more.
Lost and the Titans. And this is 3 in a row that they've lost. And the Niners one hurts real bad because that's a division game. And the Niners
and you got the wheels blown off you by the Cardinals too, week 4. Yeah. Like they, for them to be like one of the Super Bowl favorites, they're trash. They are. I mean, they're not a good football team.
Because my dad is definitely not a Rams fan, so I definitely don't kind of root for them on the side, but like they're hard to like right now just because they have all the stars and everything, and they got out to such a hot start, but now they have to like get their shit together because 3-game slide coming into December is not great, and they have to play the Cardinals again, and then the Vikings, which will be a tough game, and the Ravens and the Niners closing out the season. So like they really need to get their shit together now. But I would still bet on this team, maybe not to win it all, but like I would still bet on them to be in the playoffs. I mean, they just have to win a few games. Yeah.
They're 7-4. They have to win 3 games. But yeah, I mean, if you look at their schedule, 3 games is not going to be easy to come by. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't think this football team, I wouldn't even be surprised if they missed. I mean, okay, they'll win next week against the Jaguars.
Actually, Jaguars and Seahawks might be back by then. Like they've been shit, but maybe Russell Wilson is.
But there's not another gimme other than the Jaguars, and so that gets you to 8. They could lose the Cardinals, they could lose the Seahawks, they could lose the Vikings, they could lose the Ravens, they can lose the Niners. Like they could lose every game on the schedule except for the Jags.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, looking at this, like, this is panic button mode for sure. Even though you have a great roster and you can probably still do something, like this is the time. Like next week against the Jags is going to be huge. And I mean, if the Jags can somehow get feisty and beat them next week, they would just be so shit out of luck.
That'd be it. Yeah. Cash it. No, it'll be funny, but yeah, I think as far as today, those are.
Wait, is OBJ the problem?
Dude, OBJ is most certainly the problem.
I mean, I don't think he was on the team by the Titans, he might not have even been by the Niners.
He was. Niners was Sunday night of last week or Monday night. So, I can't remember. He was on.
So he was on the team for the Niners, and let's just, for the sake of this joke, say that he was also on the team for the Titans game. So now you have Odell there for 3 weeks and 3 losses. I think that maybe teams should just not have Odell Beckham on their roster. He seems like a bad luck charm.
I would say so.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, get him out of here. But yeah, that'll wrap it up here, Chicken Yard Sports. We will talk to you later. Like and subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. Watch the videos. Follow along with us. Just do it. Later.